In the last tutorial video we had discussed about adjectives. Adjectives are words which describe nouns. So now we are going to describe the action word in a sentence, that is verb. So what are verbs? Words that tell or assert something about a person or thing comes from the Latin word verbum, meaning a word. It's the most important word in a sentence and it may tell us what a person or thing does, like Hari laughs, the clock strikes. What is done to a person or thing, like Hari is scolded, the window is broken. So if I write here, I say Hari laughs. The clock strikes. Or Hari is scolded. The window is broken. So here all the words which specify some action like laughs, strikes, is scolded, is broken, they are what? Doing words, and hence they are known as what? Verbs. All these words are known as verbs. What a person or thing is: the cat is dead, glass is brittle. So is, like if I say the cat is dead, glass is brittle. So I am trying to describe the state in which a particular thing or animal is. Like the cat is dead, glass is brittle. So these are also verbs. I feel sorry. So I feel is the word. So a verb is a word used to tell or assert something about some person or thing. A verb often consists of more than one word, like the girls were singing. I have learnt my lesson. The watch has been found. So if I write these sentences here, the girls were singing. I have learnt my lesson. The watch has been found. So all these words like were singing, two words are used to describe the action. I have learnt my lesson. The watch has been found. Reena has been dancing. So these words, sometimes verbs are used, verbs often consist of more than one words. Now there are two types of verbs, transitive and intransitive. Let's see what are transitive verbs. A transitive verb denotes an action which passes over from the doer or subject to an object, like the boy kicks the football. I write here, the boy kicks the football. So over here the boy is your subject and you can say that kicks the football becomes your predicate. And in this word football is your object. Because this is the object, hence there has to be a word which connects the subject and the object, that is kicks. So this kicks is what? It is your verb. Now you can see that the action kicks, it transforms or it moves from the subject to the object. The boy kicks what? The boy kicks the football. So basically what you have to do in such sentences is spot the verb, that is the action word, and ask the question what after the verb. Like in this you can ask kicks what? So he kicks the football. So when a particular verb is able to answer this question, that is it has an object to which on which it is doing the action, hence this becomes a transitive verb. This kind of a verb becomes a transitive verb. So here the action moves from the subject to the object of the sentence. So here it is a transitive verb. Let's see some more examples. I read a storybook. I say I read a storybook. So in this, I is the subject of the sentence, read a storybook is the predicate, storybook together becomes your object, where story can be considered as the adjective because story describes what kind of a book is this, an adjective of quality. I read, so over here you can see the word read, which is your verb. I read what? I read a storybook. So this word, this verb read is successfully able to answer the question what, hence it becomes a transitive verb. Now intransitive, those which denote an action but does not pass over to an object, or which expresses a state or being, like he ran a long distance. So I write here he ran a long distance. So when I write this, of course he ran. Okay, he ran what? Did he run something? You, of course you cannot run something. He didn't ran, he ran something, it doesn't make sense. He ran, he ran himself. So over here actually it's trying, the verb is doing an action on the subject itself. He ran himself, but we never say this, we never use this term, we never say he ran himself, but this action word ran, it implies back to the subject of the sentence only. Hence because it doesn't pass on it, if because there is no such object over here, or it doesn't pass on the action to the object. Of course long distance, distance can be considered as the object of this statement, but ran doesn't pass on the action to the object, hence it becomes an intransitive verb. The baby sleeps. I say the baby sleeps. If I answer the question sleeps what, or the baby sleeps something, it doesn't make sense. You cannot sleep something, right? So the baby sleeps, that means this word sleeps, it is applied on the baby itself, hence it is an intransitive verb. There is a flaw in this diamond. Now many, even to me it was a little bit confusing, but I'll try my best to explain this. There is a flaw in this diamond. So of course now I'm trying to say there is a flaw in this diamond. So what am I trying to do? This is a kind of a state in which the diamond is. this diamond is in a particular state, and that state is a state of flow. So there is a state of flow. So this statement that is considered as some state which the diamond is in. It doesn't actually show any action as such. All kinds of universal truths also fall in this category. For example, if I say honesty is the best policy, if I say honesty is the best policy, so honesty is the subject of the statement, is the best policy, fine. So over here, honesty is the best policy, that is, honesty is a state, it is in a state of being a best policy. So that becomes what? A kind of intransitive verb which expresses us being something. Transitive verbs with two objects. Now most transitive verbs, they take a single object, but there are also certain transitive verbs which take more than one objects, like an indirect object which denotes the person to whom something is given or for whom something is done, and a direct object like his father gave him a watch. So I'll try to explain this. His father gave him a watch. So in this you can see his father gave what? Gave something. Yes, gave a watch. But to whom? To him. So here him is an object, watch is also an object. So we have two objects over here. So actually gave what? Gave a watch. It answers the question, gave something. What is that? He gave a watch. So that watch was given to whom? To him. So watch is what? It is your direct object of the verb, and him becomes the indirect object of the verb. This becomes the indirect object. So him is the indirect object, watch is the direct object. He told me a secret. I write he told me a secret. So in this, told is the verb. Now told what? Told a secret, but to whom? To me. So this is your direct object, whereas me is your indirect object. Some words which are used transitively as well as intransitively, like the ants fought the wasps. Some ants fight very fiercely. The ants fought the wasp. Some ants fight very fiercely. So here you can see the ants fought. Fought what? The wasp. So this is transitive verb. Now some ants fight very fiercely. So very fiercely, this becomes your adverb which is describing the word, which is describing the verb fight. But this fight ultimately it refers to what? The ants. Hence this is intransitive. So first statement you have transitive, and the second statement it is used intransitively. The first one it is used transitively, second one it is used intransitively. Likewise, the shot sank the ship. The ship sank rapidly. So sank what? The ship. So this is transitive. Sank rapidly, that is, it is being referred to the ship itself. The word sank, the verb sank, it is referring to the action is not being passed somewhere else, it is being passed back to the subject itself. The ship sank. Ring the bell, Rama. So ring what? The bell. The bell. The bell rang loudly. So there is no object to which rang is referring to. The driver stopped the train. Stopped what? The train. The train stopped suddenly. Stopped what? No, it doesn't answer the question. What? He spoke the truth. He spoke something. He spoke the truth. He spoke haughtily. So he spoke something? No, he did not speak something over here, but he spoke it in certain way. Haughtily is the adverb. The horse kicked the man. This horse never kicks. So we have seen how some words can be used transitively also as well as intransitively also. These two statements, I leave it as an exercise for you. Pause the video and try to do it yourself. Some words cannot be used transitively, like come, go, fall, die, sleep, lie. You cannot come something, you cannot go something, you cannot fall something, you cannot die something, you cannot sleep something, you cannot lie something. So sleep, I sleep, you sleep, people die, apples fall from the sky. Okay, so from the sky, now here apple fall. The word, when I say apples fall from the tree, I'll write it like this: an apple falls from the tree. So falls something, can it answer the question falls something? No, the apple falls, so the action is being passed back to apple itself, hence it is intransitive. Some words are used reflexively, where the subject and object both refer to the same person, like the man killed himself. So I say the man killed himself. Killed whom? So it is answering the question killed what? Killed himself. Fine, himself can act as an object, but ultimately it refers to the subject only. So the subject and the object are both the same in this statement. Hence, these kinds of verbs are used reflexively. I saw myself in the mirror. So I saw myself. It again refers back to the same subject. Some pure intransitives are there. Sometimes, though the verb is used reflexively, object is not expressed, like the bubble burst. The bubble burst itself. The guests made themselves merry. Some other examples I'll give you. Please keep quiet. With these words, he turned to the door. The Japanese feed chiefly on rice. So, in between, we could add some words. Please keep something quiet. With these words, he turned something to the door. Please keep something quiet. With these words, he turned something to the door. The Japanese feed something chiefly on rice. So, what? Please keep yourself quiet. With these words, he turned himself to the door. The Japanese feed themselves chiefly on rice. So here these words are implied. That is, you don't need to specifically mention these words over here. Hence, these words are, they can be used as pure intransitives. So Japanese feed whom? They feed themselves only. He turned himself. Please keep yourself quiet. So it is being referred to the object itself, to the subject itself. Sorry. Some words used reflexively as well as transitively, like hmm, do not forget his name. So do not forget. Forget what? His name. I forget his name. I forget what? His name. Acquit yourself as a man. So used reflexively as well as transitively. So here acquit yourself as a man. So acquit is being used reflexively here, and in the next statement the magistrate acquitted him of the charge. Acquitted what? Acquitted him. So here it is used transitively. I enjoy myself sitting alone. So I enjoy myself. Reflexively, he enjoys good health. So he enjoys what? Good health. This is transitive. He interested himself in his friend's welfare. So these two I leave as an exercise to you. So with this we complete verbs. In our next lesson we will be discussing adverbs.